Welcome, everyone. I'm thrilled to have you here. Today, we are going to unpack one of the most critical aspects of cloud computing, cloud pricing models. We'll move beyond the buzzwords and look at how to architect your cloud costs just as carefully as you architect your technical solutions. Let's get started. Let's begin with the foundational shift in how we pay for IT. In a traditional on-premises data center, you deal with CapEx or capital expenditure. You buy servers, network racks, and cooling systems up front. It's a huge sunk cost. Cloud computing completely flips this paradigm to OpEx, or operational expenditure. Think of it like a utility bill. You are renting compute power and storage from a provider's data center. The beauty of this consumption-based model is that you only pay for what you actually use. If you spin down a server, you stop paying for its compute power. This means no more guessing game with your budget and zero upfront infrastructure costs. Look at the diagram on your screen. On the top path, traditional IT forces you into the CapEx route, resulting in high upfront hardware costs. On the bottom path, cloud computing introduces the OpEx model. This flows directly into consumption-based billing, empowering you to pay strictly for what you use, turning fixed costs into variable, optimized costs. Why does this consumption model matter so much? It's all about agility and eliminating waste. In the old days, you had to guess your peak traffic for the next 3 years. If you overestimated, you wasted thousands of dollars on servers sitting idle. If you underestimated, your app crashed during a spike. Cloud pricing solves this. As demand rises, you instantly add resources, and when demand drops, you remove them. You no longer pay a premium for, just in case, extra capacity. Furthermore, modern cloud tools provide real-time cost predictability, ensuring your financial footprint matches your actual performance needs. This flowchart highlights the contrast in handling traffic spikes. When a spike hits, the cloud approach allows you to dynamically scale resources, leading directly to optimized costs. Conversely, the on-premise approach forces you to permanently over-provision your hardware, which inevitably leads to wasted capital. Cloud elasticity is financial elasticity. Now let's look at the default cloud pricing structure, the pay-as-you-go model. This is exactly what it sounds like. You are billed purely for the resources you consume during a specific billing cycle. For instance, a virtual machine might have a per-hour price tag, but it is actually billed down to the minute. If you run a server for 23 minutes, you pay for exactly 23 minutes. This model gives you absolute maximum flexibility. There are no termination fees and no long-term lock-ins. It is the perfect strategic choice for unpredictable workloads, rapid prototyping, or temporary development and testing environments. This sequence diagram illustrates the immediate nature of pay-as-you-go. The moment a developer starts a virtual machine, the cloud billing engine begins per-minute metering. The absolute second that developer stops and deallocates the machine, the metering halts. You are in complete control of the billing meter. To master cloud pricing, you must understand the hidden variables that drive your bill. It's not just about the size of the server. For example, geography plays a massive role. Provisioning the exact same virtual machine in Europe versus Asia will yield different costs due to local power rates, taxes, and labor. Another major factor is network traffic. Pushing data into the cloud inbound transfer is typically free. However, pulling data out of the cloud outbound or egress traffic is billed based on specific geographical zones. Understanding these variables allows you to architect solutions that are not only technically sound, but financially optimized. Here we see a breakdown of the total cloud cost. It splits into 4 main pillars: the compute resource size and tier, the specific deployment region you choose, the volume of network egress data leaving the data center, and your storage type and redundancy levels. Managing all 4 is key to cost control. Not all cloud services are billed the same way. Let's compare infrastructure, platform, and function as a service. With IaaS, like virtual machines, you are charged for compute power whenever the machine is online, regardless of whether it's processing requests or sitting completely idle. PaaS is a mixed bag. A managed database might have a fixed monthly fee, while a DNS service bills per query. But the real magic happens with FaaS, or serverless computing. Here, you are charged strictly for the exact milliseconds your code is executing. Moving to serverless means you stop paying for server uptime and strictly pay for business value generated. This diagram contrasts the 3 service categories. IaaS bills you for simple uptime. PaaS provides a blended model of fixed and usage-based pricing. FaaS, or serverless, offers the most granular billing, charging you exclusively for exact execution milliseconds. The further down you go, the more efficient your spend becomes. Once your workloads stabilize, pay-as-you-go becomes expensive. This is where you leverage commitment-based pricing. If you know a database server needs to run 24/7 for the next year, you can use cloud reservations. By committing to a 1-year or 3-year term, you can slash your costs by up to 72%. If you need more flexibility across different regions or VM types, you can use a savings plan. With a savings plan, you simply commit to a fixed hourly compute spend, and the cloud provider applies deep discounts across your entire compute portfolio automatically. This is how enterprises master their budgets. Here is your decision tree for commitments. You analyze the workload. Is the demand predictable and running 24/7? If yes, purchase a 1 or 3-year reservation to unlock up to a 72% discount. If the demand is unpredictable, remain on pay-as-you-go to maintain maximum flexibility. As a senior expert, I always look for sunk costs that can be repurposed. Enter Bring Your Own License, known in Microsoft ecosystems as Azure Hybrid Benefit. When you rent a standard virtual machine, the hourly rate includes the physical hardware plus the software license, like Windows Server or SQL Server. But what if your company already bought those licenses for your on-premises data center? By applying your existing licenses with active software assurance to the cloud, you strip the software cost out of the cloud billing rate. Suddenly, you are running premium Windows workloads at the base compute price of a Linux machine. Let's break down the math visually. A standard cloud VM cost splits into the hardware cost and the software license cost. When we apply a hybrid benefit, we effectively sever the software cost entirely. The result, you pay only the base hardware compute cost, drastically shrinking your invoice. Let's tie this all together with a powerful real-world use case, an e-commerce platform. A retail site has a predictable baseline of traffic 10 months a year, but faces massive spikes during Black Friday. If they over-provisioned for Black Friday all year, they'd go bankrupt. Instead, we blend pricing models. We secure the core databases and baseline web servers using 3-year reserved instances, cutting those foundational costs by 72%. Then, we configure auto-scaling groups using pay-as-you-go or highly discounted spot virtual machines specifically for the holiday burst traffic. We achieve absolute cost efficiency on the baseline and infinite, safe scalability for the spikes. Our final diagram brings the strategy to life. The e-commerce platform splits into 2 traffic profiles. The steady baseline traffic is covered by 3-year reservations for maximized savings. The holiday traffic spikes are absorbed dynamically using pay-as-you-go and spot VMs, delivering perfect elasticity and cost control without waste.